Welcome to the battles of Loftus Road. As you can see, it's the media room is down the bottom there. It's a long old corridor. It's been a long, sorry old afternoon, really. Norwich City losing 2-1. I'm sure you know all the details. Let's go through some of the bits, shall we? First of all, how you end up working so hard on your defending for a week and then you can't defend a long throw inside the first minute of a football match, I found truly perplexing. And for the fact that the sending off clearly screwed Norwich over for the rest of the game, their defending put them in that situation, which was almost criminal in a way. So it was a bit of a nightmare. In terms of the incident, I still haven't seen a replay, but I mean, it doesn't matter if it was a deliberate handball. If Martin Olsen's handled the ball on the line, then you can't really argue with that. John Ruddy adamant that there was a foul in the build-up, which may well be true as well. In the Premier League, we get 8 or 9 replays from different angles. In the Championship, you're relying on the people involved to know what actually happened. I expected there to be a free kick, but long before we got a red card and a penalty. So there we are. Sherry missed the target from the spot kick anyway, but of course Norwich were 2-0 down at half-time. And they were woeful. I mean, a lot of people are saying they were good in the second half, and with 10 men obviously, and they responded. I mean, I would say probably good from 20 minutes to go, sort of 70 minutes onwards, they really started pressing. But a lot of that has to come from the fact that QPR looked a bit edgy. They were probably running a bit thin on energy at that point because a lot of adrenaline had been pumping around up until then. They worked so hard. Norwich's great game plan was going to be to play high, press high, which would have made sense of some of the selections that Alec Neil made, especially with Nelson Oliveira and Stephen Naismith, but they couldn't do any of that because they were down to 10 men through their own ineptitude at the back. So clearly, at this point, what do you do? I mean, the second goal was nicely worked, and the QPR had some impressive performances out there. Poulter and Colin Washington caught my eye. But I mean, are they really going to be in the top 6 at the end of the season? No. Were they buoyed by the arrival of Ian Holloway? Yes. That was clearly a big crux to all this, and the rather blasé responses from Alec Neil and Ryan Bennett on the presser on Friday, they just didn't. They played like that from the start, and yes, they got into it in the end. But by that point, it's not brave if you start playing well with 20 minutes to go and you're 2-0 down. Even though Stephen Naismith did get them back into it, and they probably, you know, if the ball had fallen right for them, they could have even got a point. As it was, it's sort of a galling defeat, mainly because, you know, they were rubbish from the start. So what happens now is interesting. I've just spent, you know, the whole afternoon on the live coverage, and there are at Pinken.com there are lots of angry people, and of course that's not necessarily representative, but we had chants of Neil sort it out. What a load of rubbish coming from the Norwich fans today. Boos at every opportunity. Lots of supportive chants as well. These guys are clearly not. They want their side to do well. They cheered when Norwich scored. Of course they did. But they're not happy. And I just looked over that squad and just thought, this just looks like a deteriorating side. It's lacking any spark and life. And that from, despite signing several good young players, they're clearly not ready, or the manager doesn't trust them yet. And everyone else seems a bit staid until the last 20 minutes when they did run around. But and you know, they moved the ball. They started, you know, winning sprints for the ball and actually out-muscling QPR. I mean, this is all stuff they should be doing from the first minute, and they should have been aware that was what they were going to get from QPR, given the whole Ian Holloway situation. So much to ponder. I don't get the impression, we've got the AGM in midweek, I don't get the impression that Alec Neil will be going anywhere particularly, but you never know. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but certainly he won't be walking away. That's pretty sure of that from the post-match interviews we've done. I don't get that impression at all. Good to speak to John Ruddy too as well. He spoke well, but it's not about what people say afterwards or before anymore, because there's always a little bit of you that goes, oh, maybe, just from watching on the pitch. You can't start like that for the first half and expect to get anything. And Norwich are in a slump now, 4 straight defeats in the league, and they head to Derby next weekend. Bradley Johnson, of course, they'll come up against probably, assuming he's fit and playing, and which he has been regularly now under Steve McLaren. And I just can't see them getting anything out of that either. And of course, Graham Dorrans, who now is banned after picking up his 5th booking, will also miss that game alongside Martin Olsen. So the absentees are missing, and with Sebastian Bassong, Stephen Naismith, Nelson Oliveira, John Ruddy all getting back into the side this week, who knows what we'll get at the iPro.